Hari Om, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Every journey starts with the first step, but it also matters who's taking that step with you and towards where. The company we keep determines the destination we reach. Bhajagovindam talks about satsangatva nisangatvam. Satsang, keeping the company of saints and sages, or the company of good. The company we keep has a huge impact on us. We can see so many different examples. The most easy example is accent. When somebody lives in a particular neighborhood or country, they pick up that accent. They pick up even mannerisms of how to talk, expressions that are used, and vocabulary. My brother married a woman who has a great love for literature and language. And after my 2 years studying in the ashram, when I met him, he was using much bigger words than he normally did. And when the kids came along, he even scolded them with impressive vocabulary. If you watch Star Wars, then talking like Yoda, you will. Another way of seeing the effect of company on us is that it changes our value and our mindset. If we find people of ethnic traditions like Indian and Chinese, children who are brought up in America or Australia or London, they have a view or a preview of their ethnic culture because of the home lifestyle, but they adopt far more of the Western thinking in the school, and they bring that back home with them, and it changes the traditional ways. Vice versa also. Any person going from a particular culture into another culture starts to adopt small aspects of that culture. I've seen American communities of ISKCON where those children know far more stories of Krishna than your average kid in Mumbai. Another example, which is very striking, you become like the company you keep, is a physical thing like a heater or an AC. When we sit close to it, our skin actually warms up or cools down. We tend to adopt the surroundings we are in, and therefore it's so important that we choose the company very, very carefully. We see this even in the life of our Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmaya. He fought for India's freedom, and we see at that phase of his life, the patriotism in him was very, very strong. The commitment to the freedom struggle was so strong. Once India had gotten its freedom, Gurudev lived in Delhi, and we see in this phase of his life, he was attending parties and being a socialite, and we see in his journals, his reflections of those conversations, those environments. And then something led him to Swami Shivananda's ashram. His own seeking, possibly, or his wanting to pursuing his career to want to expose the sadhus of the Himalayas. But as he spent time with Swami Shivananda, we see a distinct change in the way Gurudev thought. And even later on, when we saw the roaring Swami Chinmayananda on the platform, so much of how he spoke and the ideologies was adapted from Swami Shivananda. Swami Shivananda had a great openness of mind to embrace technology, and he was one of the first to get videoed. We see Gurudev too embrace technology. The company we keep molds the way in which we think. Satsangatva is this first step in the ladder of rise in Bhajagovindam, and the very word satsang, sat plus sangha. Sat means truth, sangha, company, keeping the company of truth. And so truth's not a person. Truth is that which never changes. Truth is that which cannot be made false. Keeping the company of truth is really keeping our thoughts in line with that which is truth. Not just everyday truth of what we've done and what we've said, but the truth of this existence itself. And the company we're keeping is not the person that's next to us, but where our thoughts are. We see it today with mobile phones all the time. We could be feeling much closer to somebody who is in another country than we are to people who are sitting right in front of us. We spend more time with the person that's far away because we texting, or we on Skype, we on FaceTime, and so the connection with that person is much stronger. Physical proximity is not as important as how much time we spend with that person in our heads. Where our mind is, where our thoughts are, that's the company we are keeping. So satsang is keeping the company in our thoughts of that which is higher, that which is real, that which is true. It's not easy to be able to just think about truth, and so it's easier to be with a person who's evolved and living a life with Sat, and therefore satsang gets translated to be the company of saints and sages. It's not always easy to find great saints and sages, and so satsang is also keeping the company of seekers who are striving on the path, living a life of nobility. And it can also be watching videos of spiritual discourses. It could be reading books. When we read books, we get so involved in the character of the books. It can be listening to music with lyrics that are uplifting. Satsang is whatever we do to keep our mind in the company of that which is Sat. Even when we all alone, we are keeping the company of our own thoughts. And so where our thoughts are is the company we are in. Think about it.
For more in-depth talks from Swamini Supriyananda and other excellent teachers of the Chinmaya mission, you can subscribe to chinmayaclicks.com. That's chinmayaclix.com. You can also visit the Chinmaya channel on YouTube for bite-sized inspiration and discourses on in-depth Vedantic texts. To know about local classes, activities, and upcoming retreats, visit www.chinmayamission.com. And see you on the next podcast.